It's your boy, K-So Big Dipper.
I am back. What it do, baby?
And today, it has finally begun. Now, I did my entire, I think it's like 3-hour album reaction live stream when The Boy Who Played the Harp came out. But as promised, I said I am going to do every single song individually broken down. This album means a lot to me. Like, the same way it took Dave so long to drop, it made me realize I've been on this journey of like listening to UK music, reacting to UK music, getting into UK debates. I didn't even realize that a lot of people look at me like as like somebody to talk to when they want information about like the UK. So for a lot of content creators, I've been discussing with a lot of content creators about Dave and just a lot of stuff. I'll probably be having a lot of cool collabs coming around soon enough. But now that I'm done doing all that shit, I wanted to be able to really sit down, and I also wanted to see what the internet and what the community felt about this album before I did my individual reactions. With that being said, the time has come. So hit that thumbs up button. Long intro, but I'm done talking. Let's get to work. History!
This is God's plan. He said it to me.
Album of the year! No, the one when it he said no, album of the year. Sorry, okay, hold
This is God's plan. He said it to me. An angel either side of my bed in a dream, singing, you don't know where you're yet to achieve, and you're destined for some shit you would never believe. Now the garden same size as Adam and Eve's. I got trees, a forest, you better believe. For the bass and the treble, I treble the fee.
A lot of people, I'm yet to. There's this one lady, I'm forgetting her name. She's African-American writer, and on Twitter she was going viral for how she broke the album down, and she did a really great job. I wish I could think of her name. If you do know her name, if you know who I'm talking about, go drop it in the comments. Dave retweeted her and shit. Goated, right? But I feel like nobody is yet to speak to what the fuck this album means, and I thought it was really on the nose, like it's nuanced and all of these things, but quite simply, Dave is the boy, right? And who played the harp, and there's spiritual Greek mythology, biblical ties to that symbolism, but then also just quite simply, if you are a fan of Dave, you understand that he came from not an environment that usually breeds the most successful people. And music came almost as like an angelic thing to take him and to a place where unimaginable heights, not just 1%, 0.0000001% of successes in the world. It took him to that. So the harp is the music. But what Dave is struggling with is feeling like he is losing the harp. And the whole album, you listen to him fight to understand and come along to understand what it is to be the boy who plays a harp. And ultimately, he lands on, it's just sort of being him. It's just him. Which is what I said in the beginning of the album. But I feel like you should know that when the album comes in mind, even from the beat selection to the lyrics that this nigga's choosing to use. If you have that in mind, it paints a very different picture. And with that being said, this is the best album to come out this year. Niggas are gonna have to say the Clips. You're gonna have to put the Clips album in there. You got to. And if you don't, I'm not respecting your take. You gotta put it in there. And if you want to say Chance the Rapper's, personally, the Dipper wouldn't, but I completely understand how Chance was sort of a return to form, so I get it. But as far as quality of music, nobody anywhere in the world put anything up that could compete with the boy who played the harp.
I can't wish my ex the best, you would end bed in a dream. singing. You don't know where you're yet to achieve, and you're destined for some shit you would never believe. Now the garden same size as Adam and Eve's. I got trees, a forest, you better believe. For the bass and the treble, I treble the fee. I can't wish my ex the best, you would end up with me. I can't sleep when there's money to get with the team. You disrespect the 16, your head on the beam. For the lust of the money, the head of the queen. I done shit I didn't think I could ever redeem. I'm from South where they struggle with saying your name, but it's easy when pronouncing you dead on the scene. So
you're nobody till somebody kills you, and you hear that line and you always hear that expression, and maybe you don't understand what it means, but it's real. Like I said, I didn't even understand that all these reactions we've been doing, these videos we've been making, these remixes of songs we've been making, all of these shits, I didn't know that it meant so much to certain people. I didn't know that certain people is looking like, damn, a nigga says something and it's like a real stamp and impact on the culture of how people are saying, I ain't fuck, I don't know we doing all that. Nigga, I'm thinking we just letting into the song, dance, having a good time, talking shit with my niggas. That's what this is to me. But I've gotten the appreciation. I've heard a lot of kind words recently, and a lot of, I didn't even know, right? And I've got that kind of appreciation, but that is a fact. In life, you'll never really know, not even necessarily how great you are, but the impact you make on people. And for so many people, the reason you won't hear it is because other people feel that giving you something, they almost have like a famine mentality when it comes to success. And if they acknowledge your success, it makes less for their own. But I gotta tell you, my niggas, it's not like that. We can all be great. We can all be successful. We can all strive and succeed. You learn to exist in that. Look at the Dipper. The Dipper came up. I'm always coming up. By the time I started a YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure my brother got like 300,000 subscribers, and I'm with this nigga in the trenches of it all, going through it. That doesn't take nothing less from me. It doesn't hurt me none to shout a nigga out. Same way the nigga gonna shout me out, but it don't. There's not only a certain amount of subscribers. You could have 1 million. I could have 1 million. This nigga could have 20 million. This nigga could have 30 million. You could have a Rolls Royce. I could have a Hellcat. This nigga could have a G-Wagon. This nigga could be in the Sabre Aventador. Because real shit, niggas grew up with ramen and chicken noodles, and that shit, there was a finite amount. There was how many was in them rolls? Like 30 of them hoes. And when that's out till the stamps hit again. That's what the rest of this shit comes in abundance. And I always looked at that shit like crabs in a bucket, but you won't know it till you see it. You won't know it till you see it. But showing appreciation isn't a weakness. Showing appreciation actually shows the strength in people. I feel so great when I'm able to big up a nigga who deserves it. But if you're ass, I'm gonna say you're ass. But if you deserve, like, because not a lot of people are doing this musically.
when you see me on these stages stepping in clean, I hope
I love that breakdown. Yeah. Why Dave come back like this? Like Michael Jordan, like.
yeah. And when they talk on my name in this country, they gon' tell you that I'm already a legend.
That's a fact.
Strut 'em that I'm reppin', clean stepping. Bro, you need to forget it. Fuck eco-friendly, my car eco-aggressive, and my ego aggressive. Better give a message. Yeah, you done it for a year, but that ain't impressive. I give a fuck about success if it ain't success, if it ain't. City's gonna listen on repeat. Gone a couple summers, so they miss me on a beat. It don't matter if she pretty and petite. If she ain't B, she can't even kiss me on a cheek. I said never build a house on sand, but I don't think I listen, cause the villas by the beach, and I did it off a beat.
No, bro. He said, Mama said don't build us house in the sand, but it's different because what got a villa on the beach. He's the GOAT. He is the GOAT. And I love when the beat breaks down Dave does what Dave does so amazing is show his range. Originally, when you listen to this album, I always say, man, be careful who the fuck you listen to when it comes to reviews, because a lot of these niggas will ruin the moment. Like, there's a fun of, like, all of us anticipating some shit, and then we get to it, we're like, oh, we like this one. Oh, we don't like this one. We like this one, right? But a lot of niggas ain't like us. And a lot of niggas come with weird, hateful intentions because it's easier to sell negativity, right? Think about how many people you know who are famous just because they're very negative at something, opposed to the people you know who are famous that because they are just ridiculously talented. It doesn't really work the other way. And so people were saying this album doesn't have like a location, right? Or like what was the last one with Storms? I guess Clash, which is gonna be like the for sure radio record. Nigga, personally, the song I was most excited for was the one with him and Kano, but I'm an actual Dave fan. But let's talk for the masses. The Jim Legacy record and the Tim's record definitely check those boxes. So then I go, these niggas wasn't even listening to the album when they were making the reviews. They just heard these, like, the early instrumentations. But then once this beat breaks down, it turns into, like, a vibe. You're like, hold on, we in this bitch jamming on the toe. Hold on, you know?
Beats, I just whip it and I screech. Anytime you see my niggas in the streets.
You know it's history.
Oh, yo, man.
Did I get addicted to life?
Who is this nigga? He started. This nigga started floating on this bitch.
That's all that I wanted.
He reminds me of Miguel.
But history smiles on us now. On to something.
And then Dave ain't done. Dave ain't done.
Now hold my hand closed. I'm inspired. And I'm holding on to a version of our lives where you're still mine.
You know it's history.
And he said, I'm holding on to a version of your life where I'm still mine. Where you're still mine. And you could hear it about the girl, or you could hear it about, like, the music career. And I think it's so much easier as an artist. Screw gave me the best advice ever when I started making music because of how niggas were playing it in my city at the time, and every nigga was buying views on the shit. And he told me, like, listen, you're gonna be tempted, but don't do it. Because not only is it gonna crash and tank your YouTube, like your channel by itself, you're going to create, for those who actually see that nonsense, unrealistic expectation you're never going to match again, unless you're going to just turn something that could be a financial something lucrative for you into something that is now you have to pay money. You have to, every time you drop, you have to spend $5,000 to go get a bunch of Russian bots to stream your shit up to get 1 million. Why would you do that? When instead, you can make $20, $30, $40 here, $50, and let that bitch build over time. And before I ever even dropped my first video, I already had it's like, yeah, 100%. Because what that has is, if I get 2 views, there's no expectation. Shit, if I get 2 views, when I come back and get 7, it actually feels like a success. Or looks like a success, or can be angled as a success. I look at niggas like Dave, who have, at this point, when he's dropping this album, his discography is 3 for 3. He doesn't have a miss on it. There's not a lot of niggas who are going to put a miss on Dave's catalog. You're not going to put, what album, what tape are you going to put? You're not going to put a miss on his shit. So 3 for 3 is tough coming from that. But he knocked it out the park.
Shall we make
My mum told me what my name really means, and the powers just kicked in. Got me thinking back to days when I was.
That's such an important bar. Like, everybody's name has a meaning, right? But most of us in America, or I don't know how y'all in the UK is, we don't know what our names mean. But my Igbo name, my actual name, does have a meaning, and I always felt like that gave me power. I always felt like that meant something to a nigga. Like, damn, like, opposed to a name, it damn near feels like an honor, like a title. Like, this is me. I am this thing. This is what my name means. And I hear that, and I'm like, man, the depiction of the Nigerian experience is something that I feel like UK niggas, but particularly Dave, do so well. So someone like me in particular can relate to this shit in a way where it starts feeling weird. Where it starts feeling like, God, what the fuck? Where did this nigga, like, hey bro, like, where was he when this happened? Like, it starts feeling weird, and I'm like, man, hey, one day.
The victim to this thing, thinking I was keeping it balanced. I was even embarrassed, selling CDs in Paris. But this music gave me everything I need in a marriage. I can't speak sideways on grind, jungle or garage. When I know that it's the reason we managed to make. Don't be a hero, I ain't looking to hurt anyone. I got a clean one and I got a dirtier one. I never see a man late to his own funeral, but I don't see a man show up early to one. I prefer the one that's slim, but I don't mind me the curvier one. And I'm coming from the south of the river where the sky is black. If not for the history that we made, they wouldn't like rap. Niggas trying to water.
And I'll say, man, as a person who is, like, I look at myself as a historian, and I don't think it is good for the history of things for us not to acknowledge the greats. That's why I gave grime a second chance. That is why, because undeniably, whether I liked the music or not that I was being introduced to, two things arise. It's an entire scene with a lot of artists, with a lot of songs. So to say you don't like an entire scene be a little tough, right? Especially when, other than Dave, Kano's my favorite artist, so it's sort of hard. There's also Skepta as another artist I really, really like. So it's like, so I can't say I just full out don't like it, but there is that, like, niggas like D-double-E, the people who aren't really, like, rapping and they're just sort of, like, turned up, but I still do. One thing I've always respected is how important you held the prestige of grime. Like, y'all niggas will, there's so many people who will go, yeah, he might not be good at rapping, but he's a legend. And nigga, that's important to the game. Because what happens when people dilute the history of what you're saying, but the difference is, I'm not making a statement to somebody's legacy. I'm talking about what the music sounds like, but I completely understand how the two can be like the same thing for somebody, or can feel like the same thing. But it's why I felt the importance to go back, because yeah, it's very important. And I love that he shouts it out. And UK niggas, never lose that. Never lose that. Because don't ever in 30 years think it's funny to disrespect Kano or Dizzy Rascal or who's the nigga who liked the cocaine? Wiley. Don't think it's like it's funny to disrespect them niggas and shit like that. It's because you're disrespecting yourself. And if you don't preserve the integrity of your foundation, which is your forefathers, you're building a very weak house, essentially.
Down, I think it's time to fight back. For 70 hours I've been stepping with powers, and it's definitely ours. It's time. You mentioned my name, but I know that you're playing with pepper. He borrowed $1 million, I told him to pay you, and never knew it was different from the moment we came in. And you can quote me, cause I said it verbatim. The woman with me like a Renaissance painting, I'm Michelangelo's David. And anytime you mention me in a statement, you better know that it's
History.
Oh my God. That's
Excuse me, what are you listening?
That is a very good song. And I still think the greatest intro in music history is Trojan Horse by Dave and Central C. Ain't nobody gonna. That intro verse by Dave, just talking about it, gives me chills. I will say, though, as a cohesive song, this is a tough, I might like it a little better. Like, not on, like, just literally the rapping, but, like, it feels powerful, and it sets the stakes, and it sets the stage for the rest of the album. 10 out of 10 intro. Hit that thumbs up button. You see that timestamp, 20 minutes? I'm not shortchanging it. Don't think because I went 3 hours before, I won't go 3 hours again, nigga. You won't get some content. Now, KBD family, I love you. You know the GOAT is back, and the GOAT is in his chair reacting to another GOAT. Let's get it popping. Hit thumbs up. Let's go.